Promotions, discounts, and offers, right? And we'll get to the next bit in a minute. So, discounts, promotions, offers, deals basically means the same things to us. Incentives designed to get people to buy or buy more. They've been around for a really long time, 150 years. Promotions have been used in retail. The very first examples were little metal tokens that people could use to get free products or get discounts. And over time, that delivery method has changed. So people remember cutting out paper coupons. Some people are nodding. Shows your age, doesn't it? It's really sad. And now we use codes and QR codes and all that kind of stuff. So the delivery methods have changed, but the way most retailers use promotions hasn't changed. Basically, you get to the end of a reporting period, you're not going to hit a target, or you've got a lot of stock you want to clear, so you stick a big promotion on everything and get to clearing. And this is how a promotion basically works. So you have a bunch of people willing to buy. Some of them are willing to spend exactly what you're charging and buy it. Some people are willing to pay more, which is very exciting. It'd be great if we knew who those people were. But a lot of people want to pay less. And if you stick a discount on, you reduce the price to the point where more people fall into that area. And the great thing about promotions, the reason retailers stick with them is they really work. We did some research with IMRG, the UK E-commerce Association, and this is not survey data, it's really important to say. This is data actually from the retailers. So we took all their trading data over a year, and around half of all the revenue items and transactions, half of it was driven by products with a discount on it, whether it was a product discount or a marketing discount. And also the average item price was much higher when a discount was included. So the reason we use discounts a lot in retail is because they work. They do deliver the results you want. But there's a big downside to them, and my slide has gone wrong. It says brand and margins, that's what it says. So that's the damage you do when you use promotions. The main one in the short term is to your margins, you make less money. And in the long term, the big damage is to your brand, which is, in a lot of cases, a much bigger worry for retailers. You've set up all those expectations of a premium brand, and then you're damaging it by using promotions. And you set expectations with your consumers that if they do certain things, they're going to get a discount. And that just sets you up for consistent failure. So the question is there a way you can use discounts but mitigate that damage? And we believe there is. And so what it's all about is understanding you've got these people who are willing to pay the price you're charging, or potentially more, and lots of people who are willing to pay less. If you can understand who those people are and have a better understanding of the intent of people coming to your website, you can then work out who deserves to get an offer, who needs an offer, who's sitting on the fence, and the offer will actually get them to buy. And what offer should that be? How big should that discount be? What should that offer be? It doesn't have to be a discount. It could be free shipping, could be a free gift. You can work all that kind of stuff out. And so the intelligence, when we talk about intelligent offers, comes in two places. One is in targeting. Where's Amelia? Why don't you fix my slides, Amelia? We're going to talk about this afterwards. One is targeting, so who sees the offer and in what context. And the other is in optimization, so testing the offers to find out what is the right offer that people want to use. So for example, I was speaking to our data science team the other day. We collect 53 different data points at the moment from people who visit a retailer's website. All kinds of things like this, so where they've come from, is it the first time they've been, have they been before, what stage in the funnel, so that they have things in their basket, are they just browsing, what are they browsing, what are they looking at, what brands are they interested in, what product categories, where are they, because we can do a bit of geo-IP location on them. What have they got in the basket? How much is their basket worth? Is it above a certain value, below a certain value? What's in there? And then if you analyze all this data, you can put people into segments based on things like these things or intent. So we can calculate how likely people are to buy by comparing the data on these people with people who've come to your site before and whether they've bought or not. So we can develop a kind of a personalized fingerprint for your specific website about whether people have bought or not, and then say, let's only target people who are low intent and only show them an offer. The other end to targeting then is the testing. So this is an actual test we ran with one of our retailers. So here we're showing A, B, and C. This is an email sign up, so you either get 5%, 10%, or 15% off. Right, are you ready? So does anyone want to try and take a guess which one drove more conversions? Anyone? Take a guess. Yeah. Equal? No. 15% off drove the most conversions. It's not really surprising. The bigger the offer, the more conversions you drove. But the interesting thing then is to look a bit deeper. And so it's not just about how many email signups you got up, but how many then drove sales. What were those sales worth? What was the AOV of those sales? Was that incremental revenue? Were those people going to buy anyway, and all you did was give them a discount and then they used that discount? Or did the discount actually encourage them to buy? So we can look into this and actually measure all those things, work out whether offers are going to work and what impact they're going to have. So I know what you're thinking, DTC Live. I can see all your faces. You're thinking, Dan, this is lovely. You've got words, you've got slides. You're like a wordy, slidey guy. That's great. Well done. But what we really want is an example. Well, you're in luck. Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, will you please welcome Max Wright from Radley? Hello, Max. Everyone, this is Max. Max, this is everyone. I haven't known them very long, but they seem like nice people. We can sit down. Let's sit down.
Am I on the right? Can you hear me at the back?
Can you hear Max?
Can you hear me?
There we go. Yeah, there's thumbs up. Have a seat. I've got coloured. I did coloured cards. Oh, they've got bent. Sorry. This is very unprofessional. Hi, Max.
Hi, Dan.
How are you?
Excellent. I've got a bit of a cold, so if my voice goes at any point or I cough, I'm sorry.
You sound wonderful. You sound wonderful. So, Max, tell us. So, I'm sure most people know who Radley are, but tell us a bit about Radley and what you specifically do at Radley.
Sure. So, I lead the e-com team at Radley. So, quite simply, I am responsible for the customer when they hit the website and then to post-purchase. Simple as that. Radley has been around for just over 25 years. 1998 we were founded, so there we go. Fortunately, Abby is nodding
There's
for me.
There's a technical expert over there.
Is.
Yeah.
And we sell premium leather goods, so handbags, small accessories, etc., etc. What was the rest of the question?
That'll do. That was good. That was a good answer, Max. What does your team look like? Do you have is there a brand team as well as a sort of e-commerce performance team? What is that going to look like?
Yeah, definitely. So we have quite a nice setup at Radley. So we are omni-channel, so therefore we have people who are responsible from a brand perspective, so very much leading the storytelling. We have the creative department as part of that. We have the D2C team, which is what I'm part of, so we have e-com, we also have physical stores. We have our wonderful wholesale and partnerships team that worry about, I guess, first, second, third, party partnerships, so marketplace, dropship, etc., and traditional wholesale, and then product, the whole shebang.
So lots of different. Is there friction between these teams when it comes to performance, or is it fairly coherent?
I think it's quite coherent. It certainly used to be. I think as a brand, we were very much, everyone worried about what they were doing. We've certainly seen a change in the last 3-4 years. I've been at Radley 5 years. Certainly the last 3 or 4 years, that has changed quite significantly. I think there's a real focus about getting our product to the customer where they want to be, and then that opens up massive doors because, we sell through, say, a John Lewis or whatever else. We know that customer shops in a certain way, therefore 100% we should let them shop there. We shouldn't try and steal them.
Cool. And just to get this out of the way, you're on Shopify, right?
Yeah, we are on
Stand
Shopify.
down, Shopify people. It's okay. So before you met RevLifter and before we started pitching you the idea of intelligent offers, how were you using offers and discounts at Radley?
I think it's probably the traditional spray and pray. It was very much, tell everyone you've got it's payday is 25% off. Go fill your boots, single code, etc., etc. And it was overused.
Ad hoc? Was it quite ad hoc? Did you plan it very carefully, or is it quite just sort of like, we've got this problem that's coming up, let's try and get over that with a quick offer or something like that?
I think it varied. I think sometimes there certainly were reactionary weekends, an extra 10% off sale or an extra 20% off new season, whatever it might be. But also, you have your trading calendar through the year. So we know, for instance, for us, we know that January and September are quite good peak months for us for work bags. So we would plan to do targeted offers to get acquisition, but certainly there was sporadic, we're in a hole, we need an extra discount.
Cool. And then you started working with us. Has it been a couple of years now? A couple of years of working together. Let's talk through, I asked you to pick out some campaigns that you like the look of. So let's start here. So basket abandonment, pretty classic. People look like they're going to leave, they're not going to check out. But is there something smarter going on here?
What do you think?
I think there definitely is something smarter going on here, Rax. Why don't you tell us about that?
So we do various things with RevLifter, and I think this one as an example. So this is our basket abandonment. So people have actually got product in their basket. What we actually do is we target the product that's in the basket as well. So this one, for instance, is 15% off, but that one is specifically around full price product. We have a different rate for our markdown product. We also change it by category, and we've done offer sensitivity within it as well. So, this varies. So at the moment, we'll be running a 15% off, but actually through through the year, we'll change this. So we've tested things like 10% off, 12% off, 8% off, everything like that. And we know at the moment where post-Christmas, and this is in February, people have less money that they're willing to part with. So therefore, we up the discount.
Another shout out for seasonality, very important. Hello. Oh no, I pressed the wrong button. There we go. Next one, Control and C, an interesting one. So this is people who copy product names. Tell us more.
Yeah, this is quite a big one for us. So what we see is a lot of people copying either the product name or the product code, and we find it much easier to have the product code on the website because it just helps our customers, it helps customer care, etc. But what we were finding originally when we started was that we had a lot of behaviour around this, where people were looking for our product and probably going to a partner and seeing if they had something there. Also just searching like our product names and finding comparisons and different types of products like it. So what we do is we purposely target those people. So if they're doing a Control-C action, we will then give them a pop-up. So again, it kind of leans back to what Grace was saying about why would you let them go somewhere else to buy your product or get a discount? We may as well serve it to them there.
Yeah, what I really like about this is obviously there's an enormous amount of intent built into this, because if you're copying the product name, you want to buy it, you just want to find the best price. So you're going to go paste it into Google or Amazon or whatever and see how cheap you can get it for. But yeah, in this case, we're intercepting that behaviour at that point. And the other thing is you mentioned Wallet. So Wallet, I'll give a little bit. So Wallet is a lot of what we do is pop-ups, because it's about getting people's attention in the moment. But Wallet is a persistent experience. So it sits on the left-hand side of the site. It has a little button you can click on, and it pulls out, and it has a bunch of personalised offers in there. And then you guys use that throughout the year to put different kind of promotions and stuff in, right?
Yeah, this is a really interesting one. We've tried a few things in here. You can see at the moment we've got a spend and save offer in there. We might talk about, so this one underneath is a new season collectible bag. And we use it for various different things. So one is your offers, once you see them, you press X or you copy the code or whatever. Next time you come back, your offer is sitting in the wallet. So that's quite nice. We don't have to regenerate a code. The customer sees it quite nicely. But we can also do various things like promoting a site-wide offer that we might have on. We can also talk about the newest offer. So if there's new lines added to sale, we could put those in. We can also talk about brand new collections or new things that are coming up. Interestingly, the one thing that didn't work for us was talking about Klarna and availability of Klarna, which we thought would be a massive success, but actually it wasn't. So I think it's really important to sort of say, you have to test and learn. It's really fundamental here, and I think we have quite a nice setup.
Yeah, nice. Klarna aren't here, are they? Good. So yeah, no, and it's great. This is what I think is great about it is sometimes we work with brands and they have a conflict between different teams, and it's like who gets the real estate of your website, which is quite limited. And here you've got a place where you can just put whatever you guys want to put in that experience, right? So how is using these offers, these more intelligent offers, and thinking in this way, has that changed the way your team works?
I wouldn't say it's necessarily changed what we've done. I think what it's probably done is it's made us smart. It's all about being smart about it. So being able to not go to the extreme in terms of reactionary offers, that's probably the fundamental thing. I think that your slide around brand and margin is really important here. 3-4 years ago, we were very much discount-led. I think like a lot of retailers that held stock, especially in wholesale partners, COVID could have been a massive challenge for us. We came out of it quite nicely, and I think what we then got into was we need to keep hitting big numbers and annualizing events and things like that. And I think what this has allowed us to do is to say, actually, we don't need to do that. What we can do is we can be more specific around who we target, when we target, why we target, what we give them.
Absolutely. And so if you were talking to an e-commerce brand today that's still running a traditional promotions playbook, and I imagine there's some out there, what would you say to them?
I think for me, I think using someone like RevLifter.
Thanks.
But I think it's such a no-brainer. I think for us, there's multiple things, right? We have better product, better website, everything like that. The thing that this gives us is it gives us far more control. I think what we've seen, and even in like the past 12 months, we've done some testing. We've reduced the visibility of our offers by 40%. So these pop-ups, we've reduced by 40%, but our revenue is held the same because we've just got smarter with it. What's really good for us as a brand is we've gone through an elevation journey. I think we have brand awareness is not a problem. 90% of people in the UK know Radley. Brand perception is our biggest challenge. And I think we have seen that something like this allows us as a trading team to deliver what we need to deliver whilst not disrupting the progression from a brand perspective. So I think there's a huge opportunity here to be much smarter about what you do. I love the idea of doing a quiz and then getting a code, but some of those might not need a code. So why don't you chuck something like this in for, and the ROI speaks for itself.
Yeah, cool. These are good ideas. Max is going to hang around in the break, so you can come in asking for all his ideas if you like. RevLifter.com for intelligent offers. Radley, it's Mother's Day on Sunday. If you haven't bought your mum something, next day delivery, right? Radley.co.uk. You know it makes sense. RevLifter, we're upstairs, so come and say hello. Max is going to hang around in the break if you want asking questions. Join me in thanking Max for coming along and training. Well done, Max.